everyone, and welcome to Mountain Lion Field. We're underway here between Regis University and UCCS, a big matchup in the top half of the standings in the RMAC. My name is Jake Ross alongside Matt Wagner as we get things started here from Mountain Lion Field. First batter of the day for Regis is Jessie Case. She was hit by the first pitch from Braylon Crenshaw. She stands on first base. This one's over our direction. Will land out of play foul. Brings the count to 0-2 on the batter is Mia Campos. Lineups for you here from Mountain Lion Field. Offensively for the Rangers, leading things off is Jessie Case. As aforementioned, she stands on first base. Mia Campos at the plate is batting second. Alicia Martinez, both the RMAC Player of the Week and the National Player of the Week for Division II softball this past week. Alicia Martinez batting third, as that one misses just a bit low, ball one. Cleanup hitter, number 19, Catherine Raper. She'll be at first base. Number 5 hitter is Rachel Williams. She'll be doing the catching for Regis. Rounding out the lineup, designated player Shelby Shepard batting 6th. Mia Moore batting 7th. Jordan Simmonsgard, as this one is in foul territory, but over to make the catch is Brianna Matos for out number 1, and it'll bring up Martinez, the reigning Player of the Week. And we have our first out of the day. Just to finish up those lineups, Jordan Simmonsgard playing left field, batting 8th for Regis. Madison Flores playing second base, batting 9th, and the starting pitcher for the Rangers will be Kylie Hartman, also the reigning RMAC Pitcher of the Week on the side of Regis. Taking off, trying to steal second, and doing so, sliding is Jessie Case, and she moves herself into scoring position. As we are quickly underway here. The defense for the Mountain Lions in the outfield from left to right. Brianna Matos in left, Mia Perez in center, Bryn Horton in right. On the corners for the Mountain Lions, Sawyer Brewster is playing third base. Peyton Reisman at first, as that one just misses ball one. Peyton Reisman at first base, Solana Martinez at shortstop, her regular position over there, and Morgan Hernandez-Ballou, the everyday starter for the Mountain Lions at second base. Braylon Crenshaw, the ace of the Mountain Lions crew, gets the start as this one's hit well into center field. Looks like it's going to stay in, but it will not. And a 2-run home run for Regis gets them on the board, and you see why Alicia Martinez is a reigning National Player of the Week, Matt.
Yeah, you were just talking about Martinez earlier, and she makes her presence felt really early on as Regis takes a 2-0 lead here. But the game's just starting for both sides, and it's important for UCCS to kind of settle down, get things back in order, especially on the pitching side. And as long as UCCS can do that and kind of get things under control here, they're definitely still in this game. And they have a pretty good offense on their side, too, the Mountain Lions do, so.
Absolutely. We're going to have no shortage of offense as this one's hit up on the left side of the field. It's going to be foul. Did it fall fair? No, it did not. Unable to make the play is Paige White, the catcher for the Mountain Lions, right behind the plate. It will be a high towering strike after all. So 0-1 on Raper to open things up in her first at-bat of the day. And just talking about the matchup between the Mountain Lions and the Rangers as we come in to today, both of them starting very well. The Mountain Lions off to their best start in the last 3 years. Last time they had to start up to the caliber of their start this year was back in 2019 when they won 7 of their first 8 in RMAC play. They've won 6 of their first 8 in RMAC play. Although Regis has won all 8 of their RMAC games to this point, they sit atop the league. I know it's still early as that one's bounced foul towards the Regis dugout, but a good test as both of these teams have played some programs that have struggled early or as of recently, with Regis playing their first 2 series against Adams State, New Mexico Highlands. Of course, the Mountain Lions playing against Black Hills State and, Shadron State, as that one's fouled back to the screen. And Matt, just what is this series going to tell us as far as how the RMAC may shake out?
I mean, first off, it's definitely going to be a measuring stick for UCCS. And also from the Regis side, they're off to a really impressive 8-0 start. Haven't played the best quality of competition so far either. So I really want to see how both these teams come out. And it's going to be really it's going to be really key both today and tomorrow. It's a 4-game series to see just who wins this series and just kind of gets a leg up on the other team early on.
And the pitching matchup, especially in this first game, is a very good one. One of the better ones that you will see in RMAC play is that one is going to be grounded to Solana Martinez up with the ball, and she'll make the out at first base. Good sound mechanics there from Solana to get the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Williams, the catcher for Regis, to try and extend this first inning. They already have 2 through, but Braylon Crenshaw, definitely the ace for this Mountain Lion crew. You can say the same on the Regis side for Kylie Hartman. We talked about, especially for Hartman, had a very good weekend last weekend, earned the RMAC Pitcher of the Week honors, as that one is going to be in there for strike 1. And just, you don't get to see a whole lot of pitchers duels in college baseball and softball, but we certainly could get one here today, and especially with there's no shortage of offenses. This one's hit well to left, and this one's going to get out of here too. So the second home run of the inning for Regis puts them up 3-0, and we'll see Shepard hit, the designated player for this Rangers squad. And as I was just about to say, there is a lot of offense, so although we may see we're going to see runs scored today, it's just which pitcher can step up and bring their team over that hump.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be runs scored today, like you said, but overall it's really important for both of them late in the games when they're facing key situations, runners in scoring position, things like that, and basically whoever can really buckle down and get the key outs in the game, that's going to be key as far as winning this one. But I'm really interested to see, you just mentioned the quality of this pitching matchup today, and I'm really interested to see both of them, and that's definitely something you can look forward to today.
And Crenshaw likes to work quickly, as she's quickly 0-2 on Shepard. Shelby, the designated player of this first game for Regis. That pitch is going to be just a bit high as well, for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes, so 2 outs here for the Mountain Lions. The long ball has hurt them here early, as the only player to reach base at this point was hit by a pitch. That was the leadoff batter of Jesse Case. So not a whole lot of balls in play. The ones that have been put in play, though, have left the yard at this point.
Yeah, that might be a key for Regis in this one, especially so far.
Well, in a short field here at Mount Lion Field, we're right next to the Ent Center here on campus. Not just right across the parking lot, not far from Mountain Lion Stadium, for those of you that are familiar here with the UCCS campus. So a very beautiful stadium. As this one's lifted, it's going to fall fair. So struggling to get to it, both is Solana Martinez and Bryn Matos. It'll roll to the wall, and standing up with a double is Shepard. So another runner gets on here for UCCS, and that will bring up Mia Moore, the center fielder.
Yeah, and another thing you want to look to as far as UCCS is concerned, they definitely need to play really solid defense today, clean defense on that end of things. And Matos, the left fielder, came up and the ball kind of got away and not allowed the runner for Regis to take an extra base. And still early on. It's still 3-0. But I was just talking about key situations, and this is one of those pretty early.
Absolutely, as that one's fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike now the count. Yeah, it's between Martinez and Matos. That was right here from our vantage point here, just past the Regis dugout. Kind of in no man's land a little bit. It looked like Martinez and Matos thought it was going to fall foul, and to their point, I thought it was going to cheap foul as well. This one's lifted into right field. Over to make the catch is Bryn Horton, and that will do it for the top half of the first inning. So we're going to step away for the middle of the first, but not before Regis does damage. They get a couple of long balls, a 2-run home run from Martinez, and a solo shot from Williams. They lead it 3-0 here in the first, but the Mountain Lions get their first chance to respond when we return. second pitch, 1 ball and 1 strike. Some lineups on the other side of things for you all. Morgan Hernandez-Ballou will lead things off for the Mount Lions, followed by Mia Perez and Solana Martinez due up here in this top half of the first inning. That one's fouled back, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sawyer Brewster batting fourth. Paige White will be in the 5 spot. Peyton Reisman 6. Courtney Heller, the designated player in game 1 here, will bat 7th as watching strike 3 and going down on strikes to lead things off for the Mount Lions is Hernandez-Ballou. That'll bring up Mia Perez. Brianna Matos will bat 8th, and Bryn Horton will be the 9-hole hitter for the Mount Lions, with, of course, Braylon Crenshaw starting things off on the mound. Defensively for Regis, Jordan Simmons-Guard in left field, Mia Moore in center, and Alicia Martinez in right field. On the corners, Mia Campos is at third base with Catherine Raper at first. Up the middle, it's Jessie Case at shortstop and Madison Flores at second base. Starting pitcher, of course, we talked about her earlier, is Kylie Hartman, reigning RMAC pitcher of the week from last week, as fouling that one back is Mia Perez, and behind the plate doing the catching for Regis is Rachel Williams. She had that solo shot in the first half of the inning for Regis. 2-1 the count at the plate on Perez. Perez had a pretty good weekend last weekend against Black Hills State here at Mount Lion Field, although the Mount Lions were technically the visiting team of those games, as they were supposed to be played up in Spearfish, South Dakota, but the snowstorm up there last weekend moved those games down here to Colorado Springs. Wasn't very warm here last weekend, but it was much more playable for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't snowing down here, but it was it's pretty cold down here, I gotta say that for sure, but at least it wasn't snowing, and I'm glad they were able to get the games in no matter the location, honestly.
Payoff pitch to Perez on the 3-2 count is going to be fouled, so we're going to do it again as Perez returns to get her bat and step back in. Good battle put together here by Perez after the backwards K to start things off from Hernandez-Ballou. Mount Lions need a handful of runs back here as they find themselves down 3-0 already, and a great at-bat put together by Mia Perez to reach base.
Yeah, really good at bat there by Mia Perez, as you just mentioned, Jake. And that's one of the key matchups to look for in this game is Perez versus Hartman.
Well, and Hartman is going to put the pressure on you to make your own offense, so it's not going to be easy to reach base for the Mountain Lions. They're sure to find their runs, as they are a very offensive-oriented team, and as we began to mention in that top half of the first inning, this is a very offensive field with a pretty short fence out there all the way around. So Mount Lions will certainly try and get things started as Solana Martinez is up to bat now. The count on her is 1-0. The pitch there is fouled back to the screen, and Solana struggled a little bit in the first 3 games against Black Hills State, but started to break back out in that 4th game with a couple of singles, and Solana is not the type of player that you see struggle very often, and you know that she's going to break out, and what a time to do it here against Regis, as that one's going to be fought off. It'll fall foul on the first base side, so count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Martinez, but one of the most prolific players in this Mountain Lion offense from a production standpoint, and it's bound to start falling in for her at some point.
Yeah, definitely, and you mentioned that she did pretty well earlier in that last game in the last series, and there's Hartman though again. Hartman's off to a pretty good start so far. Got 2 strikeouts.
Yep, 2 strikeouts is a second. Both outs, strikeouts. Martinez goes down swinging as you see that rising fastball come out from Hartman on that one. Just looks like a strike the whole way, but that underhand spin that you can get on the softball definitely starts to cheat up towards the letters, and it gets Martinez to bite on it that time. First offering to Brewster is in there for strike 1, so she's behind 0-1, and also quickly working is Hartman, so she toes the rubber and comes set. The pitch there, that one's going to be just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swinging through that one and coming up empty is Brewster. She falls behind, 1 ball and 2 strikes, and you see the mentality start to come through here from Kylie Hartman, very confident up there on the mound, and she's going to pound the zone, and she's going to make you use her she uses her defense, I should say, and she's going to make you find the holes in it, as that one is going to be a ball. Throw to second base, and out at second, caught stealing is Mia Perez, and that'll do it for the Mountain Lions. So when we come back in the bottom half of the second inning, Brewster will be back up to lead things off with a fresh count, as Perez was put out on the base pass to end things. But we go to the second inning, Regis up to an early 3-0 lead. They look to build on it behind a very good early showing from Kylie Hartman when we return. Takes for strike one, evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike here. It will be 8, 9, and 1 due up in the second inning for Regis, as that one's going to be in the dirt, ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike now on Simmons Guard. It'll be Simmons Guard, Flores, and back to the top of the lineup with Jessie Case, who's only seen 1 pitch this game. She was hit by it to open up the game today in the first inning. That one's going to be low. So 3 balls and 1 strike now on Simmons Guard, as she's way ahead in a hitter's count.
I want to see, though, how Crenshaw starts this inning after giving up 2 home runs in her first inning of work. Right now it's a 3-1 count, and it'll be a 3-2 count with that one, but I really want to see if she gets this inning off to a pretty good start, and she might need to do that just to get kind of momentum in her favor, especially after that kind of rough first inning there in spots.
Crenshaw's offering there is bounce back to the screen. Count moves to full, I should say. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the first full count we've seen out of Crenshaw this afternoon. She'll take a little extra step behind before she toes the rubber once again, gets her signing, comes set. The pitch here, that one's bounced foul again. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes, and we'll do it all again. And Crenshaw has had a very good start to her season, very active in the Mountain Lions' success to this point. As you said, kind of ebbs and flows on the confidence. When she gives up a couple hits, you can kind of see that those are start to be strung together, I should say. But once she starts to get those strikeouts to come through, they seem to come in bunches for Crenshaw.
Oh, definitely. And once she gets into a rhythm, I think she'll be fine. And overall, for a pretty good amount of pitchers, sometimes that first inning is a little bit rough as they're getting into the game, as that's going to be a single to left field.
Yeah, base hit for Simmons Guard, and it's the first single base hit of the game. Only other hits that have come through have all been of the extra base variety, 2 home runs and a double, the only other hits given up to Crenshaw to this point. Crenshaw comes set once again. She'll set and fire here. Bunt shown, a nice one put down. A tag will be put on there from Reisman. Good heads-up play by the Mountain Lions, as erasing Flores on that one for out number 1, but it moves Simmonsgard into scoring position and flips the lineup over for Regis, so it'll bring up Jessie Case in the top of the lineup for the Rangers once again. As we mentioned a few moments ago, the only time she has been up to the plate, she saw one pitch and it hit her to start off the game, did Case. She swings through that one for strike 1. The offering from Crenshaw, and that one's weakly bounced to the left side. Thought about spinning around for the tag, did Brewster, but already past her was Simmonsgard. So runners on the corners now for Regis with Campos coming up, and a little bit of a late decision there from Brewster. I think she wasn't thinking she would have been able to get the runner at first, and moving up as the Mountain Lions kind of fell asleep there is Jessie Case. So now 2 runners in scoring position. I believe that they're going to ask Ricky Rothbauer Stubbs is going to come out and ask the umpire, and looks like they may have a conference here on the mound, but the Mountain Lions struggling here early. The Rangers kind of running all over the base pass at this point. Only 1 out in this inning was Flores, and that was the little squib bunt right in front of the plate on the tag. And what do the Mountain Lions need to do to kind of get their momentum back on their side?
Essentially, it kind of sounds a little bit cliche here, but definitely play cleaner defense. You got to be decisive there. Especially if you're Brewster over at third. I understand that was kind of an in-between tough decision for her, is whether to get the runner going to third or go to first. But then the runner for Regis being able to take second like that. UCCS, they can't have stuff like that now.
First pitch to Campos misses.
And now Regis, you see they got 2 runners in scoring position, and they're definitely putting pressure on Crenshaw, and she's been off to a good start in this inning, but it's definitely kind of some pressure facing her now. That's not her fault at all, but I want to see if she can get out of this.
So it's quickly 2 balls and no strikes as Crenshaw's behind here, and very patient behind the plate is Campos as she lets that one go by her for ball 3. So not a very effective mound visit from the Mountain Lions to this point. That one's in there for strike 1, and a good job coming back to get a strike in that count from Crenshaw, as Campos still very far ahead though. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 pitch on its way, and that one's going to be bounced over to Brewster at third. The runners will have to stay put, but unable to handle it is Brewster. So Campos reaches. I believe they're going to give Brewster an error on that one, as she took her eyes off it before it was in her glove. So couple of base hits. Case with the double, Simmonsgard with the single. Bases are full of Rangers though. Only 1 out here. Mountain Lions could get the double play ball to get out of this one, but at the plate, a very good hitter. And there's a play down to the plate, and they will get an out at home, as 2 outs here. Heads up play by Morgan Hernandez-Ballou. Looked like it may be an opportunity for a double play there, but speed with Martinez coming out of the batter's box, and she makes a good decision to go to the plate. A 4-2 put out for those of you scoring along with us at homes for the second out. That one's bounced back to the screen. Strike 1 on Raper.
Yeah, that was a great decision there by Hernandez-Ballou. Would have been that's a double play ball, but it would have been really tough to turn considering the speed. So definitely the safest opportunity in and out is probably to play at home, and good job by Hernandez-Ballou getting that. Now 2 outs.
That one's going to be high. Will miss for ball 1, evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And yeah, Martinez being an outfielder, she mans that right field position for the Rangers. definitely has a lot of speed, being able to cover ground out there on defense too, as that one's fouled back into the screen. So good heads-up play by Morgan Hernandez-Ballou out there at second base to get the lead runner at the plate and keep this a 3-0 ball game. 1-2 is the count at the plate now. That one's going to be bounced back to Crenshaw, and she'll get out of the jam. A nice job to come back from Braylon as the Mountain Lions looked like they were going to go down by a handful of more runs, but they limit the damage and don't give up any after all. 3-0 is the score, and we're going to go to the Mountain Lions half of the second inning. When we return, Sawyer Brewster will come up with a fresh count, followed by Paige White and Peyton Reisman. Don't go anywhere. You're watching RMAC Softball on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live. Sawyer Brewster fouls that first offering back. No balls and 1 strike. The count on her to open up the second inning. It will be 4, 5, and 6 for the Mountain Lions in this one as Hartman deals her second offering. Swinging through that one is Brewster. She is behind, no balls and 2 strikes, and Hartman continues to attack.
Yeah, Hartman, she's going to continue to attack this lineup, and the Mountain Lions lineup, especially this part of it, is really strong, but so far she's done a really good job in the circle so far.
That pitch misses, 1 ball and 2 strikes, and from a hitter's standpoint especially, when somebody is on top of their game as much as Hartman is at this point and swinging through that one, going down swinging as Brewster, you know she's going to continue to attack you, and it makes it that much harder to lay off on those close balls on the inside and outside halves of the plate, because you know that she likes to fill the zone up. So when you're on that kind of 50-50 ball on the corners, it makes it hard to make that decision to lay off.
Oh, definitely, and that's one of the key parts to her game is you can see it already early on. She's been attacking the zone early and often here so far at Mountain Lion Field. And it's UCCS. They're going to need to lay off pitches that are just outside, just inside, things like that. But ultimately, as long as UCCS can just stay alive in at bat, stretch them out, that could potentially be the chance to get to her in the box.
Wasting that pitch, and it's going to fall out of play on the first base side, moving the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Mountain Lion catcher, Paige White. And especially for Hartman, just being able to attack and fill up that zone, Mountain Lions, the pressure is going to be on them offensively to put the ball in play, and a nice job trying to stay alive and count as another strikeout comes through for Hartman. That is already her 4th, as we're only 5 batters into the game. Reisman coming to the plate now will be the 6th Mountain Lion to make a plate appearance. And she, I mean, what else do you say?
Yeah, she's off to an incredible start in the circle right here. But you mentioned that the onus is pretty much going to be on UCCS's offense, and they know that she's going to just keep attacking the zone the entire game. So as long as they just kind of get out in front early, I just want to see how how often they can keep the bats alive for sure. And you don't want to be going down on like 3, 4, 5 pitches. Let's say it's a good job spoiling that one back.
Well, and good patience early here for Peyton Reisman. She went up 2 balls and no strikes before fouling that one back to make it a 2-1 count. So good job seeing the ball by number 20 in gray here. The Mountain Lions wearing their gray uniforms with black numbers. The Rangers, as that one is in there for strike 2, is in their blue uniforms with yellow trim on the sleeves and the white numbers on the back. Hartman working quickly, steps back on the rubber. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The offering here is going to be bounced back to the mound, and she'll make the easy out at first base. So the Mountain Lions go down 1-2-3 as Hartman continues to look strong. She's dealing up there early. Regis maintains their 3-0 lead as we move to the 3rd inning from Mountain Lion Field. Rangers up 3. Leading things off for the Rangers in the top half of the 3rd inning will be the catcher Rachel Williams as she takes for strike 1 from Braylon Crenshaw. She had the solo home run in the 1st inning for the Rangers to score their 3rd run. That is the last time that a Ranger has come around to touch home plate, as that one is softly hit over to Peyton Reisman over at first base, and a quick out for the Mountain Lions and a good start in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, Crenshaw, she's really settled down after that tough first, and this is exactly what UCCS is going to need. And so far, Regis, you and I have been talking about it pretty much all game, just how Regis' pitching is pretty much dominating UCCS early. So as long as UCCS can stay in the game on this side of things, that could ultimately lead to a chance for UCCS to eventually get to Hartman later on.
Absolutely, as that one's hit into right field. It was going to fall foul, but over to make the play is Bryn Horton, and definitely now is Crenshaw settling in, and good to see for the Mountain Lions as she gets the foul out. It'll bring up Mia Moore, the center fielder for the Rangers. Her first time up, she also flew out to right field. Swinging through that low fastball for strike 1 is Moore, and she's behind 0-1. That one's going to be low. The same type of pitch she swung through on the first offering. Wisens up the second time around, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike, but good strategy for Crenshaw to come back with the same look. So that one's going to be low again, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Key pitch for Crenshaw coming up in the at-bat can really turn the shape of it.
And swinging through that one as she challenged her with the fastball and gets her to bite on it, but coming up empty is Moore. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and as you said, 3-1 is much different than 2-2, especially from a pitcher's standpoint, as the offering here on the 2-2 even count, a nice spot there on the inside half of the plate, but just missing, runs the count full on Moore.
And Crenshaw had a pitch to play with after getting count to 2-2, but it's really important that she attacks now with a full count.
Fouling that one back and staying alive is Moore. So we'll do it again. The count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the Rangers' half of the third. The first time that they've really struggled to reach on Crenshaw as the first 2 batters go down. The 3-2 pitch here, and that one swung through. A big strikeout for Crenshaw as the Mountain Lions put down the Rangers in order for the first time today. But the Rangers still lead it 3-0. The Mountain Lions will try and respond in their half of the third inning. When we return, it'll be Courtney Heller, Brianna Matos, and Bryn Horton taking their first attempts to try and solve Kylie Hartman when we return to Mountain Lion Field. You're watching Mountain Lion and Rangers softball on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live. Courtney Heller steps into the batter's box for the first time today as the Mountain Lions take another turn here. Heller fouls that one back after taking for ball 1. That evens the count, 1 ball in 1 strike on the Mountain Lions designated player. Heller came in to UCCS as a catcher, had that knee injury. As you can still see, she wears that brace on her left leg her right leg, as directions are difficult, I guess. But still kind of coming back from that, but really important bat in the Mountain Lions lineup. Tough to keep her out of it, so typically we see her in that designated player role in game 1. Paige White, who now does the catching for the Mountain Lions, a freshman, also a hard bat to keep out of the lineup, so she'll typically do the designated hitting for the Mountain Lions in game 2, as Cassidy Hubner will likely come in to catch in that one. 2-2 though now on Heller. That one's high and the count runs full. And Heller will walk, so the first base runner of the third inning, the leadoff hitter of the third inning gets on for the Mountain Lions. We're going to get a pinch base runner in all likelihood here for the Mountain Lions, and we will. It's going to be Jennings over there to come in for UCCS. Brianna, a freshman for the Mountain Lions out of Rampart High School here in Colorado Springs. Brianna Matos takes her first attempt here against Hartman today.
And you mentioned in the last AB just how key Heller's bat is for the Mountain Lion lineup, and that was a really good at bat by her to draw the walk, and maybe this will get something started here for UCCS, as things have been tough to come by on the offensive end of things so far.
Absolutely, as the Mountain Lions starting to break through on Hartman ever so slightly here As a nice bunt put down, beautiful, might leg it out and does, moving to third base as no one was there to cover is Jennings, and heads up base running for the Mountain Lions as they're threatening here, nobody out, runners on the corners as Matos comes up with a beautiful bunt for a hit.
I can't say enough about the the base running there, especially from Jennings to take third and to have the awareness to take that extra base there. And UCCS there, they're really attacking early on and getting the running game now that it's available, getting the running game in motion, and really good start to the inning for the Mountain Lions, and they're in position to get at least one on the board, possibly here. We'll see. But that was a really good bunch to start it off. Great base runner to take third, and UCCS, they got a chance to score here.
Absolutely. The Mountain Lions have their first runner in scoring position since at all today, as caught stealing in the first inning was Mia Perez, would have been the only base runner to reach scoring position, as falling behind here is Horton. No balls and 2 strikes, but with third base Campos crashing on the bunt, the responsibility of third base falls on the shortstop Case. She kind of stayed home there, as swinging through that one and going down on strikes for out number 1 is Horton. So a double play will end the inning now for the Mountain Lions, with still standing on first base is Matos, with Hernandez coming up for UCCS. But Case stayed put, and good heads-up base running, as you said, by Jennings, recognizing that there was no one there to cover third base and moving up on that one, as that ball misses. One ball and no strikes on Hernandez. So the Mountain Lions definitely need to convert at least one run here, you would believe, here as we get into the middle innings of this one. Next offering is fouled back, 1 ball and 1 strike, as ones are wild on the board with 1 out as well.
Yeah, this is definitely a key at bat here for UCCS. They started off this inning really well, especially at the base running, like you've just mentioned. But it's really important that they've really got to convert here, because they've had trouble getting momentum going on offense, and future for UCCS to at least get 1 on the board.
So after missing on the first pitch, Hartman battling back to take the advantage in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Hernandez Ballou. The 1-2 offering is going to be missed on that one, so another strikeout, as a response here from Hartman after the first 2 base runners reach, and she comes back to strike out Horton and Hernandez. So now with 2 outs, the Mountain Lions, you'd might think about sending Matos earlier in this inning, but after ending the first inning on the base pass with Perez getting caught stealing, you would believe that at this point at least you would make the out at least be made at the plate or in the field.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be a little too risky to try a straight steal here, especially with 2 out now in the inning. But again, this is another key at bat here for UCCS in this inning, and UCCS, they're only down 3-0, yes, but it's key for them to convert here.
Swinging underneath that one and falling behind as well, 1 ball and 2 strikes is Hernandez. She struck out looking in her first at bat. This is Perez. I keep saying Hernandez Ballou, but she struck out, so I should say she walked in her first at bat. Her second at bat of the day will be a strikeout, though. So after getting the first 2 runners on and looked like they got some momentum back from Hartman, did the Mountain Lions, but she responds, striking out the next 3 as Horton, Hernandez, and Perez all go down swinging, and the Mountain Lions come up empty as the Rangers continue to lead it by 3 runs. We will come back with the 4th inning due up for the Rangers as Simmonsgard, Flores, and Case 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Rangers in the 4th inning. When we return, once again, don't go anywhere. You're watching RMAC Softball on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live. Back here at Mountain Lion Field and evening the count at 1 ball in 1 strike is the leadoff hitter, Simmons Guard. The left fielder for this Rangers squad singled her first time up, was stranded at third base. That was back in the 2nd inning, as coming back to retake the advantage in the count is Crenshaw. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Next offering is going to be high, so the count evens back at 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Crenshaw came back very strong in that last inning for UCCS, setting down the Rangers batters in order 1, 2, 3, as that was a very nice spot on the low and outside part of the plate, but just misses and runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That one's going to be hit over to Martinez at shortstop. Up with the ball quickly, and a very fluid and nice play made over at short by Martinez. A 6-3 put out for the first out of the inning for UCCS, and that will bring up Flores, the second base player here today for the Rangers. Flores, her first time up, grounded out, to make the first out in the 2nd inning for the Rangers. She takes for ball 1 to opening up her 2nd plate appearance of the day. 0-1 pitch there is hit over to Martinez, and catching it on the fly is Solana, so she makes the first 2 outs of the 4th inning for the Rangers, and that will flip the lineup over back to the shortstop, Jessie Case, as she is 1 for 1, also reaching her first time up on a hit by pitch, but she had a double in the 2nd inning as her hit on the day, and delivering strike 1 is Crenshaw.
Yeah, and the ball's found Martinez out at short twice, and she's made two pretty good plays and two quick outs here for Crenshaw and the rest of the Mountain Lions.
Misses low on that one, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Some numbers for you on Crenshaw coming into today, so this does not account for her performance here thus far, as that one is swung through. 1 ball and 2 strikes now, the count on Case. She comes into the day with a 4.64 ERA. She is 3-3 win-loss in 7 appearances with 6 games started, I should say. 3 complete games to her name thus far in her young season, as the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As that one misses. Crenshaw definitely eats up a lot of the innings for the Mount Lions across this season, as that one misses away, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the 2nd full count of the inning, as the leadoff batter, Simmons Guard, also saw a full count, but Crenshaw already has 34 2/3 innings, as that is another very good strikeout. So similar to last inning, she gets the first 2 outs in play and comes back to strike out the 3rd batter as she nears that strikeout mark in Mountain Lion program history. But the Rangers continue to hold on to their 3-run lead. The Mountain Lions look to get on the board in the 4th inning as they come up when we return. They'll have 3, 4, and 5 in their lineup with Solana, Martinez, Sawyer, Brewster, and Paige White when we return to Mountain Lion Field. Back here at Mountain Lion Field, and Solana Martinez will lead things off. She struck out swinging her first time out. She takes for strike one from Hartman here. As the wind begins to pick up here at Mountain Lion Field, that one misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike as Martinez evens the count. Hartman back out there for her 4th inning of work here today. Has pitched very well. Already has 7 strikeouts on her day as she works ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Martinez.
And notice again, Hartman facing the heart of the Mountain Lions order here, which is a really strong lineup in their own right. And she's still attacking them, forcing the issue and really forcing the Mountain Lions. They can't wait for pitches, which is really one of the things you would look for as a hitter, but they're not able to do that. And she's not really making many mistakes. Hartman's not at all. So it's really important for UCCS just to try to keep at bats alive, and hopefully for UCCS, if you're a fan of them, get on.
Evening the count at 2 is Martinez, and as you said, I mean, you can't really fault the Mountain Lion offense. It's just absolutely been an overwhelming performance by Hartman at this point, as fouling that one out of play. The count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Martinez. And when you're pitching as well and as aggressively as Hartman is here today at Mountain Lion Field, as a batter, you're just on your heels the whole time, and that has certainly been the case from the Mountain Lions, as they have put up quite the battle to this point, as continuing to foul off and waste those pitches is Solana Martinez at the plate. And we will have the 7th pitch of the at-bat upcoming here, but just a 2-2 count on Martinez. It's a good at-bat being put together here by the Mountain Lions shortstop. That one swung underneath, and beating her with the high heat is Hartman. And for the second time, Martinez goes down on strikes. It'll bring up Brewster.
And you mentioned earlier the rising fastball that Hartman's got in their arsenal. That's really tough to lay off. And that's definitely her strikeout pitch, and some she's leaned on a lot so far, and she's probably going to continue to lean on it as long as UCCS continues to swing at that, which admittedly that's a really hard pitch to lay off.
Absolutely, and you saw it there as Martinez, both of her strikeouts have come on that third strike rising fastball, and Martinez sees the ball very well for the Mountain Lions, and she definitely knows how to do damage. So when she sees that ball come in low, it looks like a strike about halfway to the plate, but right as you begin to get into your swing into that forward motion, it cheats up high out of the strike zone, as that one's going to be fouled back and falls in safely, but will move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brewster. And by the time Solana actually gets into that full swing, she realizes too late that it is out of the strike zone at that point. But you can't fault the Mountain Lion batters for that. It's just that very lethal movement out of Hartman from the pitcher's mound as she continues to work quickly, toes the rubber, and offers once again, ducking out of the way of that one as it was running inside on Brewster, but she gets out of the way. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
I can't fault the Mountain Lions at all, especially swinging at the rising fastballs as they have today. And Hartman's she's one of the best pitchers in the RMAC, and she's definitely in her game today. She gets yet another strikeout here in the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, I've lost count. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. And Hartman continues to overwhelm the Mountain Lions. That one's put in play, but over at shortstop to make the play and set down White. And the Mountain Lions go down 1, 2, 3 for the 3rd time this afternoon. They continue to trail by 3 runs as Regis is overwhelming the Mountain Lions on defense, and Mountain Lions will try and get some momentum back as Crenshaw is settling in on her side of things, she has set down, the last 7 batters that she's faced. She will have Campos, Martinez, and Raper when we return. Don't go anywhere. You are watching RMAC Softball on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live. Welcome back to Mountain Line Field on the north side of campus here at the University of Colorado in Colorado Springs. Crenshaw back out there for UCCS, and she delivers low for ball 1 to open up the 5th inning here. Leading things off is the third base player, Mia Campos, for the Rangers. She reached her first time up on an error over on a ground ball to Sawyer Brewster, as hitting the zone that time around and evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike is Braylon Crenshaw.
Yeah, I got to compliment Crenshaw, and she's done a really good job after that tough versus this kid being out over at third.
Very
over
nice
short,
play over at shortstop by Matt, Solana Martinez, is a tough play coming around that one and a close play at first base, but the first out is made.
Oh, that was a really good play there by Martinez, and she's had a lot of action over there at short the last couple innings, and she's done a really good job over there defensively, and she's honestly one of the better defenders for UCCS, especially in the infield.
Right back to her as that one's grounded much harder, so a little bit more breathing room over at first base that time around, as Alicia Martinez also grounds out to her Mountain Lion counterpart. That will bring up Raper, the first base player for the Regis Rangers, as a couple quick outs and again over to Martinez. Gets it on a hop and 3 quick outs made, all from the Mountain Lion shortstop, Solana Martinez. We've talked about how she has struggled a little bit at the plate, but definitely not bringing her bat onto the field. She stays strong on defense for UCCS and gets all 3 outs that time around. 1, 2, 3 is now it's been the last 10 batters set down by Braylon Crenshaw, but her counterpart, Hardman, not giving the Mountain Lions anything, as we will keep it right here as we move to the Mountain Lions half of the 5th inning. And Reisman will lead things off for UCCS. And how important is it for the Mountain Lions to kind of match Regis defensively at this point to try and get that momentum back their way offensively?
As far as UCCS, their offense, they've been shut down with the exception of earlier when they had runners at first and third. But then even after that, Hartman was able to get a couple strikeouts to get out of the inning. So it's really important for UCCS. They need to honestly probably get the leadoff runner on. Then I'd set runners in motion if that happens. And UCCS, I'm not saying they got to necessarily press here, but they definitely got to force the issue as they did earlier, getting the running game in motion. But as long as they can get a runner on here early, they can get runners in motion again, then possibly they would have another chance to convert this time against Hartman.
So I touched on it a few moments ago, as coming into today, as that one's put in play on 1 hop over to second base, and making the play is Madison Flores on Reisman for the first out of the inning for the Mountain Lions. But coming into today, sitting in 8th place in program history in terms of strikeouts, is Braylon Crenshaw. She has 2 strikeouts this afternoon puts her at 205 on her collegiate career. She needs 2 more strikeouts to match 7th place in program history. We'll see if she's able to eclipse that mark today. She's chasing Amanda Ritchie on the program list, but certainly on her way. She's going to hit it undoubtedly at some point this season. Well, it's just whether or not that is done today or later in the season, as fouling that one back to open up her at-bat is Courtney Heller, who re-enters the game for UCCS after being pinch run for last inning. Oh, 1 pitch to Heller misses. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Heller walked her first plate appearance back in the 3rd inning, so still yet to have an official at-bat on her day is number 17 for the Mountain Lions. 2 balls and 1 strike the count on her now with 1 out already put away. As Hartman fires. That one's going to be in there, evening the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And again, that's a testament to what Hartman's been able to do really all game, is even when she gets behind in counts, which has honestly been pretty rare that she gets behind in counts today, but even when she can get behind in counts, she still immediately kind of squares everything away, gets counts even, gets count leverage, and right there, that's a good job by her evening up the count 2-2.
So the count remains after that one's fouled into the screen on the 3rd base side. As this offering is bounced also over into the screen in front of the Regis dugout. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Over to throw the ball back in from left field is Jordan Simmons' guard. One out, nobody on for Heller. That one misses as well. Count runs full. Good patience there at the plate for the Mountain Lions designated player. That one's hit into left field, so a hit comes through there for the Mountain Lions as just the 2nd hit of the day, I believe, for UCCS, as on base again is Heller, and still looking for an answer for her is Hartman, and we'll get another pinch runner here for UCCS.
Yeah, that was solid contact there from Heller to end a really good at bat, really good patience by her, as you mentioned earlier, and she drew a walk earlier, so she's basically had Hartman's number. It's been pretty rare today, but Heller's definitely got it so far. And I want to see if UCCS, there's 1 out, but this is an opportunity for them to get something started later in the inning.
Only the 4th Mountain Lion to reach base in this game, as Hartman has just been absolutely dealing for the Rangers. Matos steps in and fouls that one for strike 1. In her first at-bat, she bunted for a single but was stranded at first base. Part of the effort in that inning for UCCS to get the first few runners on. She almost gets that one to drop fair, but sneaking foul, I should say, before the 3rd base bag is that one. So no balls and 2 strikes here on Matos. Bunted for a hit in that 3rd inning, but was stranded at first. Heller walked to start things off, was pinch run Brianna Jennings on that bunt, made her way to 3rd base, but coming back to strike out the next 3 was Hartman, as getting a strikeout again here as the 2nd out of the inning is made. It'll bring up Bryn Horton. She struck out swinging her first time up. That was also back in the 3rd inning. 10 strikeouts on the afternoon from Hartman, and she continues to pound the zone. Goes up 0-1 on Horton to open up her second at-bat of the day.
Yeah, I can't compliment Hartman enough, and she's still attacking everybody in the Mountain Lions lineup, it seems, and she's just getting the strikeouts left and right still. And now we're getting in the later portion of the game, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. So it's really important for UCCS is now there's going to be an 0-2 count.
Yeah, and these 0-2 counts, such a big hole for the Mountain Lions, the way that Hartman is pitching out there. She's going to continue to attack, and if you get down like this, it's going to be very hard to climb back in the count, as letting that one go for ball 1 is Horton. Good job letting that one go at shoulder height. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on the right fielder for UCCS. Quickly moving, though, still is Hartman. The 1-2 pitch is fouled into the screen in front of the Regis dugout once again. The count remains 1-2. And every at-bat for the Mountain Lions today to this point, and to you believe and no reason to think otherwise, is going to continue to be a battle at the plate for UCCS as Hartman takes another offering towards Horton. She'll foul that one into the screen. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I got to compliment Live here.
Absolutely, as she's wasted a couple of good pitches thrown her way from Hartman. Hartman steps back in, though, comes set and offers once more. That one will be high. Good patience at the plate. Again seen there from Bryn Horton of UCCS. Mountain Lion baseball also in action today just across the field here on the north half of campus. As that one's fouled over towards us, it will just skip behind us. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bryn Horton. We'll have an update for you from the baseball side of things here in a few moments, as the Mountain Lion men are taking on the Cowboys of New Mexico Highland over at Mountain Lion Park. Next offering, once again, fouled away, and continuing to put together good at-bats and waste pitches is Bryn Horton for UCCS.
And this is exactly what UCCS needs now, as we're getting firmly later into the game here, and they're going to need to keep the bats alive like Horton's doing, and maybe force a mistake eventually.
And a called strike 3, and that will end things for UCCS. So 11 strikeouts for UCCS, for UCCS delivered by Hartman, as the 3rd out of the inning is made. It will be the top of the lineup for the Mountain Lions, so good job getting through that bottom half. But we will return here in a few moments. It will be Williams, the catcher for the Rangers, to lead things off as they maintain their 3-run lead here as we move to the 6th inning. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Mountain Lion softball here from Mountain Lion Field at UCCS. Welcome back to Mountain Lion Field here as Rachel Williams, the catcher for Regis, is leading things off. She is 1 for 2 with a solo home run back in the 1st inning. As back out there for UCCS on the mound is Braylon Crenshaw for her 6th inning of work, She is behind 2 balls and no strikes, though, in this battle, and once again missing on that one. So 3 balls and no strikes. Very comfortable here is Rachel Williams. We'll see if she gets a green light to swing on this offering. That one is going to miss as well. So a 4-pitch walk to open things up here in the 6th inning.
And Crenshaw, as I've mentioned before multiple times, she's done a really good job at settling down after that tough first. Put up scoreless frames ever since, but this is turning into a key at bat here, about to come up, and I want to see if Crenshaw was able to kind of stabilize things here, get it out, and keep UCCS still in this one. Aside from that first, she's done a really, really, really solid job in the circle.
Bunt shown there, but pulling it back as it crosses the plate, that one misses for ball 1 on Shelby Shepard. And we talked about as the hits and strikeouts and outs kind of come in bunches for Crenshaw. The walk to Williams ends a streak of 11 straight set down for Braylon Crenshaw. She comes back and delivers a strike there. So after throwing 5 straight balls, Crenshaw finally gets one to fall in there, and we'll probably start to see the Rangers batters start to swing the bat here, as when you see a flurry of balls, it's easy to be patient as that one's bunted foul. And now ahead is Crenshaw, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And immediately, though, she threw quite a few balls in a row, but she's got the count in her favor right now. And has some pitches to play with, yes, if she wants to get Regis to reach right here, but I think she's going to try to attack, considering that her command was kind of lost a little bit earlier.
That one's high, a back pick to first base, but sliding back in safely over there is Williams. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here, the count at the plate. Nobody out with 1 runner on first base. That is Rachel Williams, who reached on that 4-pitch walk to lead things off. That one's fought off, will fall foul in the Mountain Lions batting cage over there on the first base side. And we'll return to the plate as the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Shepard. Wind starting to pick up again here briefly at Mountain Lion Field, blowing in from the third base side as going down on strikes and moving closer to that record for Crenshaw, as she just needs 1 more to tie 7th place in program history in strikeouts, does Crenshaw. 1 out in the inning. Staying put at first base is Williams, and that will bring up Mia Moore, the center fielder. Moore is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout, one of the few Rangers that have yet to reach base here today. No balls and 1 strike, the count. That one is a nice butt put down right in front of the plate. Crenshaw and White both go over there to the base. It looked like the throw had beat her, but the call goes the way of the Rangers. It's so 1st and 2nd. Granted, we are on the other side of the diamond here, so easy for me to say all the way about 250 feet from first base to try and make that call. No argument from the Mountain Lions dugout.
And right now, Crenshaw's facing another pretty high leverage at bat here. In the 6th, excuse me. And it's vital for her to really get it out right here with 1 runner in scoring position, runners 1st and 2nd, and not necessarily right now, but they might put the runners in motion potentially.
So pinch hitting here is Carly Beard for the Rangers. She'll bat in place of Simmons Guard. We'll see if Jordan will re-enter defensively when they come back around. That one's going to be in there. 2 balls and 1 strike now, or excuse me, 1 ball and 1 strike, as the scoreboard out here was mistaken. That one misses though, so 2 balls and 1 strike now on Beard as she faces Crenshaw for her first time today in this pinch hit situation. Runners on base for the Rangers. Rachel Williams stands on second. Mia Moore is standing on first as that one is going to miss as well. 3 balls and 1 strike. Flores waits on deck. Double play ball from UCCS, though, will take that opportunity away from Flores. Crenshaw sets and fires. That one is in there for strike 2 as coming back to run the count full is Crenshaw.
Really good pitch here by Crenshaw. Dotted that one when she really needed it.
And that one's going to be fouled back, so the count remains full. Only 1 out here for UCCS as Shelby Shepard struck out, swinging, I should say. Swung out, I guess would have worked too, but
Yeah,
count is full.
Worked.
And that one is going to be fouled back, so staying alive. Looked like Paige White may have secured it, but it snuck out of the front of her glove, so foul ball. Count remains 3-2. Mountain Lions scoreless in their opportunities here today. Three-two pitch, swung through, change in speed, fools Carly Beard as she comes up empty in her pinch hitting opportunity, and what a pitch made there, and a big one from Braylon Crenshaw as she ties the program spot for 7th place in program history. She ties Amanda Ritchie in punch-outs in the history of Mountain Lions softball. We congratulate her on that one. She'll take sole possession with her next strikeout. And what a time for it.
Oh, that was a giant strikeout by Crenshaw, considering the situation on the field right now. And then as far as the record books, her now getting tied, that's really a testament to just how much of a stalwart she's been for this UCCS team her entire time here, and just huge congratulations to her. And it's hard to climb up the record books as high as she has, and she's done a really good job at it so far. And yeah, she's definitely one of the best pitchers in Mountain Lion history. Looking at the entire program, honestly, I'd say.
As we talk about that, though, she falls behind 3-0 on Flores, the second base player for the Rangers. It doesn't look like head coach of the Mountain Lions, Ricky Rothbauer Stubbs, is going to make a change here, but just coming out to talk about it. 3-0 the count at the plate. 2 outs for the Mountain Lions. 2 runners on, though, for the Rangers. If you do walk, there no damage done. It will load the bases for the top of the lineup, though, is the only kind of gamble there for UCCS. The 3-0 pitch is going to be in there for strike 1, and that's a very big pitch made by Braylon Crenshaw to get momentum back her way in this at-bat.
Yeah, big pitch by Crenshaw to kind of get back into the count a little bit.
3-1 pitch coming, and that one's going to miss just low. Looked like a really good spot at the knees, but losing Flores to first base is Crenshaw. That loads the bases for the Rangers. Standing on third now is Rachel Williams. At second is Mia Moore. And Flores now on first will bring up Jessie Case in the top of the lineup for the Rangers. Nice off-speed pitch there as Case was way out in front of it for strike 1. Case has officially is 1 for 2, but has 3 plate appearances. She was hit by a pitch her first time up. That was the very first pitch of the game, as that one misses low, ball 1, evening the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. She came around to score the opening run of the game when Alicia Martinez homered in that first inning. So that one misses again low. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. She had the double in her second at bat. That was in the second inning, and struck out swinging in the 4th inning. That was the second strikeout of the day for Crenshaw. Fouling that one back, so a good job battling back into the count and evening it at 2 balls and 2 strikes is Braylon Crenshaw. 2s are wild here across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs for UCCS.
2 things at play here: a chance to move up that strikeout list and to get out of this key situation.
That one is low and misses for ball 3, making the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so kind of the fantasy situation here for Jesse Case with the bases loaded, 3-2, 2 outs. Not so high stakes as the Rangers have a 3-run lead, but a big strikeout comes through there, and sole possession of the 7th spot in Mountain Lion program history for punch-outs. Congratulations to Braylon Crenshaw, and what a time to do it as she gets out of a jam in the 7th inning. It will be Campos, Martinez, and Raper when that time comes. But first, for the bottom of the 6th inning, the Mountain Lions need some runs as we're late in the late innings of this game. It'll be the top of the lineup, 1, 2, 3, Hernandez, Ballou, Perez, and Martinez for UCCS when we return. They trail by 3, but don't go anywhere. You're watching RMAC Softball on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live. Back here at Mountain Lion Field for the bottom half of the 6th inning, leading things off is the top of the lineup for UCCS, and Morgan Hernandez-Ballou takes strike 1. Hernandez-Ballou is 0 for 2 in her trips to the plate thus far. She struck out looking her first time out, struck out swinging her second time out, and quickly here is behind, no balls and 2 strikes to Hartman, who is back out there for her 6th inning and work. And why shouldn't she, the way that she's pitching today, is wasting that pitch back to the backstop. Count remains 0-2.
UCCS, we're firmly in the late innings with it being the bottom of the 6th here.
Letting that one go and kind of holding her breath as it was a 50-50 pitch on the outside part of the plate is Hernandez-Ballou, but she gets the call. It's 1-2 the count now on the second base player for UCCS.
And you look at UCCS, they need to get something started here. I know it's been a tough all game, and they're facing a really good pitcher that's really showing herself right now in Hartman. But as long as UCCS can kind of start getting runners on a little bit more than they have, which is going to be a tough task, but they have the ability to do it. As long as they can get on, they can possibly manufacture some runs here. And again, they are only down 3-0, so it's not an insurmountable deficit by any means, even though the outs are kind of running out here a little bit now.
Absolutely, especially the way that this Mountain Lion offense can throw up crooked numbers. That one misses as well. Good patience at the plate by Morgan Hernandez-Ballou. And even Morgan has been known to have a handful of leadoff solo shots to start innings. And she's taken some pretty healthy hacks even when she's wasted some of those pitches to the backstop. As once again fouling that one back. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes for number 3 in gray and black here today.
Both Brent Horton and Hernandez-Ballou right now, they've done a really good job at wasting some pitches here later in at bats.
And going down swinging once again is Hernandez-Ballou. She was showing bunt, pulls it back last second, but with the speed that Hardman is attacking, you kind of question that decision a little bit. She fought off a couple to get to that point, but that will bring up Mia Perez for UCCS. She is 0 for 1 with a walk and a swinging strikeout. Fouls her first opportunity back. No balls and one strike. Hartman steps onto the rubber, gets her sign, fires. That one's fouled off once again, so another Mountain Lion batter falls behind 0-2. The strikeout to Hernandez Ballou was the 12th of the day for, as we get a little bit of confusion here as we're looking for a softball, as all the foul balls, the umpire was out in his little pouch, so we get a ball back to Hartman, but that was the 12th of the day for Kylie Hartman. Certainly putting up another early campaign for RMAC Pitcher of the Week here at Mountain Lion Field, as that one misses for the first ball of the at-bat, 1-2 on Perez. I mentioned earlier that the Mountain Lion men over at Mountain Lion Park on the baseball side of things is set to take on New Mexico Highlands. That one's not even slated to start until 2, but we're moving so quickly here at softball at UCCS that I assume that it would be underway already, but just an update there. That one does not begin for another half an hour. 1-2 the count, though, here on Mia Perez. 1 out already in the inning, as striking out was Hernandez Ballou to lead things off. That one's poked down the third baseline, falls just foul, as Perez thought she snuck one down the line there. Would have been extra bases for sure, but instead it's a long strike, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes here.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard shot there by Perez down the line, and off the bat, I didn't know immediately off the bat whether I was going to go foul or not, but it ultimately did just leak over the foul line. Foul 1-2.
That one misses low and outside for ball 2, so good patience and another strong at bat being put together by a Mountain Lion. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Or that was strike 3. My apologies. I thought that it was low, but it is strike 3, so out number 2 instead, as the 13th strikeout of the day comes through for Hartman. That one does miss, though, to open up this at-bat. Martinez 0 for 2 on her day with 2 swinging strikeouts. And that one puts a hard cut on that. Does it fall fair? It does. So a hit for Martinez. She's cutting second base, going for 3, slides in safely, and the Mountain Lions, with 2 outs here in the 6th inning, have their first run of the game just 60 feet up the line.
And that's exactly what UCCS needed there with 2 outs in the 6th. They wanted to try to get something started, and Martinez there with a really good shot down the right field line, and I like the aggressive base running by her, honestly, too, because I didn't know for sure whether she was going to stay at 2 or go for 3, but she went for 3 and got in there safely. So anything really here, wild pitch pass ball, anything like that even can get her in the score.
Yeah, Solana has good speed for UCCS. She shows it off there, and I mean, really, you have nothing to lose in her situation. If you get thrown out at third, you're just trying to be aggressive. In a single up the middle, the Mountain Lions have broke through. It gets past and rolls to the wall. Does Brewster go for 3? She does not. And the Mountain Lions are on the board here in the 6th inning. Solana Martinez and Sawyer Brewster go back-to-back with extra base hits, and the Mountain Lions have broke through Hartman.
And you were talking earlier about just how strong UCCS's lineup is overall. They've been shut down by Hartman all game, really, except for the exception of a little bit earlier when they still couldn't get a run across, but they do this time. And this is, again, exactly what UCCS needed. And again, I just want to compliment Martinez on her really aggressive but smart base running earlier, and sets up the first run of the game for the Mountain Lions to score, and the ball gets through. And now Brewster's in scoring position for Paige White, and Paige White, looking at her, she's one of the best hitters in the RMAC so far early on in the year. So definitely a chance for UCCS to keep cutting into this one. And I mentioned earlier it was only a 3-0 deficit, and they're definitely right in this one, and there's definitely an opportunity if a comeback here has at least presented itself.
Absolutely. Paige White comes to the plate here in the 6th inning, representing the tying run for UCCS, as that one misses for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes, the count on White. And White, certainly nothing to sneeze at either, as one of the stronger parts of the Mountain Lion lineup, as that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike on the Mountain Lion catcher. Paige, certainly a threat to take it out of the yard as she swings, was definitely trying to do so there. Comes up empty, though, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here, though you are a threat, as Paige White is, with a runner in scoring position, I should say, don't want to do too much here with 2 outs. A single will get that run in for you, but swinging through that one and unable to catch up with Hartman is Paige White, and that will end the threat for UCCS. But the Mountain Lions get one back, and a very big one, as we head into the 7th inning. Mountain Lions just have 3 outs to work with to at least try and tie it, but before they even get there, Regis will have the opportunity to push their lead back out to 3 runs or possibly more. It will be 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Rangers when we return. Don't go anywhere, though. We'll have an exciting finish here from Mountain Lion Field on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live. And we're back here at Mountain Lion Field in a big inning, as we are in the top of 7 from Mountain Lion Field. It's Mia Campos to lead things off for the Rangers. First pitch to her is in there for strike 1, and a good start from Crenshaw on the Mountain Lion side of things. For Campos on her day, she reached her first time up on an error and then came back up in the 5th inning, and grounded out to Solana Martinez at shortstop. That was her last time at the plate, I should say, as I struggle to get my thoughts in order. My apologies. Second pitch to her is in there misses 2 balls and 1 strike.
Really important here for Crenshaw to throw up a shutdown inning here, especially after UCCS. They got a little bit of momentum on their side.
Absolutely. That one is in there, evening the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. She struggled a little bit early in the game. Those 3 runs for Regis all came in the first frame of their offensive attempts. That one misses low, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Campos, but came back, was very strong in the middle innings, setting down 11 in a row. Came back, walked a couple in her last inning as 3 Rangers reach base. That one just misses low. Made the umpire think about it, but losing Campos to first base is Crenshaw, and that will bring up Alicia Martinez. Martinez, after being touted as the RMAC Player of the Week and also the National Division II Softball Player of the Week last week, she looked to pick up right where she left off with a 2-run shot to open her game as a back pick opportunity goes to first base, but nothing there. She has been set down her next 2 at-bats. She grounded out to second base. That was the fielder's choice that went to the plate to erase the lead runner at home plate. And then she grounded also over to shortstop in the 5th inning as Solana Martinez over there on the left side made all 3 outs in that 5th inning for UCCS. Pitch there is grounded over to Hernandez Blue, gets the lead runner at second base. Not enough time to turn it over, so trading places with Campos is Martinez, and 1 out is recorded on the fielder's choice. It will bring up Catherine Raper, the first base player for Regis.
Even the UCCS, they couldn't get 2 outs there. It's really good play there by Morgan Hernandez Blue.
The umpires are going to talk about something here.
Get the lead runner there.
Not sure what they'd be discussing. So I think they're going to say interference or obstruction as yes, so it will be obstruction. Campos did not get out of the way of the play, so that also puts Martinez out at first, even though there was no throw. The obstruction made it so that there was no throw to be made. So 2 outs here, and first strike on Raper gives the Mountain Lions the opportunity to go out of this inning 1-2-3 as quickly 0-2 on Catherine Raper is Braylon Crenshaw. She tries to get another strikeout to her name. Next pitch to her is hit well. This is going to be trouble for the Mountain Lions, and it's out of here. Another solo shot as Raper gets the run back for the Rangers, and it is once again a 3-run game as the Rangers lead it 4-1.
That was a really key home run there from Regis to get the run back that they lost in the bottom of the 6th when UCCS scored their run. But still, even though that's a tough home run to give up, considering it was an 0-2 count with 2 outs at that point, it's still only a 3-run deficit. So UCCS, with the strength of their lineup, getting to Hartman earlier, they're still alive in this one. But it's really important for UCCS they got to finish this inning off on defense first and foremost, though.
Absolutely. Strike 1 in there for the opening pitch. Next offering on its way, and that one's fouled back. So again, quickly 0-2 on the batter is Braylon Crenshaw. This time around, it is Rachel Williams, the catcher for this Regis Rangers squad. See if she can break through this time. It was an 0-2 count that was hit out the previous batter. That one misses just outside. A good spot, though, was trying to get Williams to chase. Was Crenshaw unable to get her to bite on it, though. 1 ball and 2 strikes here. 2 outs in the Rangers half of the 7th. That one just misses outside as well, as another good placement from Crenshaw. Two and 2 pitch. In there, strike 3 called, and a big strikeout to respond to the solo shot will end the 7th inning for the Rangers. The Mountain Lions, though, give up a run, so are back down 3 and have their work cut out for them in their half of the 7th inning. They need 3 to tie, 4 to end it. They'll have 6, 7, and 8 due up for them, and Peyton Reisman, Courtney Heller, and Brianna Matos representing the final hopes for the Mountain Lions here in Game 1. But don't go anywhere. It'll be a good finish. We'll have the bottom of 7 when we return to Mountain Lion Field. Back here for the bottom half of 7 from Mountain Lion Field. Hartman back out there for the final inning of work. It's been a complete game to this point for Braylon Crenshaw. And that one in there for strike 1 to open things up on Peyton Reisman, who will lead things off for UCCS. As the last 3 outs here are all the Mountain Lions have to work with, as quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes, is the Mountain Lion player of first base, Peyton Reisman, on her day to this point, 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs, 1 to first, 1 to second, as that one's fouled back. Good job staying alive is Peyton Reisman. Count remains.
Pivotal, though, for Reisman. I know she's definitely not an account leverage situation, facing an 0-2 count on her end, but it's pivotal for her for her as a leadoff hitter to get on to start off this bottom of the 7th here.
0-2 pitch on its way, and that is going to be the 15th strikeout of the day for Hartman, who has just put out an outstanding performance here at Mountain Lion Field, and it will bring up Maddie Unrein for UCCS. She came in place of Courtney Heller on the base pass last time around and stays in the game for her here. This is the designated player spot of the Mountain Lions batting lineup, so Unrein was not out there defensively for UCCS, but stays in offensively as she takes strike 1.
And Hartman, you just mentioned it. She's gotten 15 strikeouts on the day, 0-1 here. And she's definitely, I'd say, an early front runner for RMAC Pitcher of the Week again. I'd say that.
Absolutely is. Especially in a 7-inning game, flirting with 16 strikeouts here. 1 strike away from it, at least, on 0-2 here to Unrein. That one misses for ball 1.
Oh, that's incredible, the amount of strikeouts she's gotten in a 7-inning game, like you mentioned, and you just got to appreciate the performance she's had out here pretty much all game today.
Unrein showed bunt originally, pulled it back and bounced that one off to the Mountain Lions dugout side. Will keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Showing bunt once again as Hartman comes set. Pulling it back, though. That one's going to be the 16th strikeout of the day, as getting Unrein to go down swinging for out number 2, and the Mountain Lions are down to their last gasp. And Brianna Matos. Matos reached back in the 3rd inning on a bunt, but struck out her 2nd time up in the 5th inning swinging. First pitch to her swung through for strike 1. As just the story of the day has been Kylie Hartman just not giving the Mountain Lions any room to breathe whatsoever. In the 6th inning, the Mountain Lions did get back-to-back extra base hits from Solana Martinez and Sawyer Brewster to get their only run through, but one strike away from her 17th strikeout, and ending this one for Regis is Kylie Hartman.
Oh, it's just incredible what Kylie Hartman's done today, and Mountain Lions lineup is tough, and all credit to her.
That one, just getting a piece of it, is Matos. She stays alive, 0-2. Hartman gets her sign, toes the rubber, and comes set. The offering, foul back once again, as a nice at-bat being put together here by the Mountain Lion left fielder to try and keep things alive for UCCS in Game 1.
Good job, though, just to keep this alive and give UCCS a chance for as long as possible.
That one misses. The only second ball of the inning for Hartman, which, just goes to show how accurate and aggressive she has been from the pitcher's mound. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back once again. I believe that is the 4th foul ball of the at-bat from Matos.
Oh, just to touch on Hartman again, you were just saying, and she attacks his own, and she's been dominant this entire game, and 1-2 count here with 2 out.
That one will be the 3rd ball of the inning, and I could probably count up the balls total for Hartman, and it would be, I'm guessing, between 13 and 20, roughly. That's how hard she's pitched the Mountain Lions. This might be a base runner, though, and it is, as Matos puts that one over towards second base. Unable to handle it was Flores, and the Mountain Lions have a runner on here. Bryn Horton will come up for UCCS now. She is 0-2 with 2 strikeouts.
But Bryn Horton, she did have a good at-bat her last time up, really keeping her bat alive, and Mountain Lions are still alive here, and I want to see just how Horton attacks this at bat here.
Absolutely, and coming with the first pitch heater on that one, is Hartman. She gets a foul ball out of Bryn Horton for strike 1. Aggressive secondary at first base from Matos, but swinging through that one as well is Bryn. So 0-2 on the Mountain Lions right fielder. And fouling it back once again, staying alive, is Bryn. The second time in consecutive at-bats that the Mountain Lions have been down to their final strike. They are again here 0-2 on Horton with 2 outs. That one's going to be once again wasted, this time over towards the screen in front of the Regis dugout.
Again, that's a really good job, though, by Horton keeping the at-bat alive. And if you're her, just keep the line moving if you're her, and UCCS is still alive here as of right now.
That one, though, she'll come up empty. 17 strikeouts as she gets Horton to go down on strikes for the final out of Game 1. Regis, 4-1 win in Game 1. And what a performance from Kylie Hartman, 17 strikeouts as she is trying to win RMAC Pitcher of the Week for back-to-back weeks, and what an opportunity, or what a campaign she's putting up for that here. But the Mountain Lions get one through as the offense comes alive there in the late innings, but the early push from the Rangers proves to be too much. We will come back here in just about half an hour or so from Mountain Lion Field with Game 2. We will step away for that time, get some stats from Game 1 and some matchups set for Game 2. But don't go anywhere. You've been watching Mountain Lion and Rangers softball on the RMAC Network and UCCS Live. For all of us here at Mountain Lion Field, our camera crew, both outside and in the truck, my name is Jake Ross alongside Matt Wagner, saying so long for now from Mountain Lion Field. Game 2 in just about half an hour.
Oh, you said Rayburn was pitching, right? Okay.
So our lineup is correct.
Hello. Do you hear that?
What?
That's perfect.
Theirs is not right.
Okay.
Ours is.
We can tell if we can hear them. So I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? This is why I wanted you over there. Why don't you get over there? Because this is something I can try to fix.
How's it going?
You just keep your headset on.
Yeah, I was just gonna leave it on.
Thanks for all the weird noises you hear.
You're fine.
Test. I have to. It's really loud. Test.
Muchos gracias.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
No, I'm good. Can you just text that to me or say it to me?
Yeah,
or something?
here. Do you want me to just leave it open?
Sure, yeah.
If it closes, my password is 6112.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Because theirs pretty similar.
Open it up. Oh, you got an iPhone. Oh no, it's like Face ID. Oh,
So you swipe up.
okay.
Got it? Yeah, if it doesn't recognize my face, it'll shoot.
Yeah. Yep.